What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video.
Yeah. I'm speaking truth from the cell to the streets. Did 24 years, now I'm finally free. H strong standing, no chains on me. Ex-con, ex-gang, but my soul found peace. Taught by the struggle, pain made me wise. I seen homies fall, seen mothers cry. Now I'm here to teach what the system denies. From the darkness I rose, Tupac in my eyes. This channel ain't clout, it's the scars I show. Life lessons in these rhymes so the young ones know. Dubs on the mic, watch the wisdom grow. If you walk through the fire, let your spirit glow.
Prison paperwork. Paperwork. California. I don't know about any other state. I don't know if they do the same thing. But here in California, when you hear people talking about paperwork, there's usually two things that people are going to look at, right? And that's your 128G classification chrono or the legal status summary sheet, okay? The legal status summary sheet is going to say what you're in prison for, what penal code section, what county you were arrested in, which I believe it says which police department or sheriff, whatever, got you. It says your attorney's name, your judge's name, all that stuff, right? And then you have the 128G classification chrono that has whether or not you have any arsons, S offenses, your tort, later it had the STG1, STG2, whatever, the security threat group that they have identified you as running with. Your in custody behavior is going to be on there, your classification score, your GPL, your reading level, all that stuff, right? Normally, it's always the 128 that everybody's asking for. Now, I bring this up because, with this last dust up, right? The whole paperwork thing, it's so funny to me, I remember seeing a few years back a YouTuber, one of the ones that called himself talking about me and my paperwork, right? And this individual said he was going to show his paperwork, and he literally pulled out one thin ass manila envelope. I wasn't surprised, but it just made me laugh out loud. Seriously, right? If you're involved in a serious incident, an incident report is going to be way thicker than that envelope. And that was the guy's whole entire prison paperwork. And I just trip out when I hear what people, when they say the whole paperwork thing. I wonder where they did their time, if they did their time, and where. Like, where were you? Who were you around? Like, it's weird, because I'm going to tell you this. Again, the prison stuff means nothing in the real world, right? So whatever violence I did, whatever I was, things that I was involved in, it's irrelevant out here. Now, before they went to the electronic file, right? My C file was a box full. It wasn't just a regular, it's the no. I had a box full. That was my C file. And that's the reason why they went digital, is because you had so many dudes doing life, getting involved in stuff, and their C files just get ridiculous. And you have a counselor that had to go up front and get the files, wheel those things in on a dolly, right? And it just got a lot, especially when it's a woman counselor. How's she supposed to be dealing with that many files? And, so anyways, for over 24 years, I lugged around my prison paperwork. And I believe it was like the day before I paroled when I realized, like, holy shit, they really are going to let me go. I went to my cell, and So everybody that's been in a cell in California 180 knows we have a locker and it's got 4 cubby holes. And I had one entire cubby hole for just my paperwork, right? And so when I knew I was going home, I went in my cell, I got all of my paperwork and took it straight to the trash and finally unburdened myself with the prison paperwork. Why would I parole with prison paperwork when I'm out in society? Now, when I paroled to San Diego. I lived in San Diego for years, right? And in those years that I lived in San Diego, I probably met 100 other lifers, ex-lifers, guys that got out. We're so happy to be out, man. We used to get in my car because, I was blessed. My dad bought me a car about a month or two before I paroled. And so when I got out, I just needed to grab my driver's license and boom, we would load that car up. 4 every time, rolling. 4 ex-lifers, all with bodies. So much time, so many years behind the walls. And when I was in San Diego all those years, and I was meeting all those lifers, and then we would have every month we had to go to this thing where all the lifers had to meet, right? And the parole officers were there, and whatever announcements had to be made, whatever, and they would tell people like, hey, you can go to this place and get college, and you can get grants over here, whatever it was, right? I can't remember what the meetings were called, but we had to do one every month. Do you know one thing? Actually, let me say this. 2 questions that were never, ever, 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 ever asked? Hey, where's your paperwork at, eh? And, hey, are you active? Guys that did decades in prison, you think they gave a damn about anything happened, homie? Hey, what's up, Holmes? Hey, you just got out? Hey, put your stuff away, Holmes. I'm going to take you to Tacos El Gordo, eh? I'm going to introduce you to these bomb-ass tacos. That's what we would do. Jump in the car, Holmes, I got you. And we would go buy a new lifer, his first meal out with other lifers. Of course, he, spent time with his family. But, hey, Holmes, you're here? Boom. Hey, let's go get some tacos, eh? That's what we did. And we fucking were like kids in the candy store, man. We were driving around all of beautiful San Diego, going to the beaches, like restaurants. We were just loving life, Holmes. And that's why I laugh when I see these internet thugs, eh? And the things that they say. Now, I want to also say this. To me, I want to, in prison, like I was saying, you go to a new yard, boom, you're gonna present your 128G. You move in with somebody you don't know, you're gonna present your 128G, and he is too, right? So everybody's comfortable, knows what time it is, right? That's if you don't know what to do. Okay. Do you guys want to know the one place that no one ever produced paperwork? Nobody was asked, hey, Holmes, hey, can I get your paperwork? Do you know where that is, guys? Take a wild guess. Pause the video and put in the comment section where you think that is, eh? Within the California Department of Corrections. Now, Pelican Bay Shoe. I was there 4 times. Not once did anyone get jammed up for their paperwork. You get jammed up for your paperwork up there, I would assume you're in some trouble. Usually, they're not going to even ask you because if you're in trouble, they don't want you to know. They want you to be the last one to know. See, Pelican Bay Shoe, the whole paperwork thing was something that was created by Southerners and Northerners in woods and stuff. Not the guys above those people. To them, it was disrespectful to jam somebody for their paperwork. So, when you got to Pelican Bay, this is what happened. Especially if it's your first time, you've never been there, you don't know any better, right? You get there, they let you in a pod, door closes, put your hands through the port, they uncuff you, bam, you got your cart right there with your property on it. Maybe you have a celly, maybe you don't. Boom, as you guys are pushing in, the very first cell on the bottom tier, If it's occupied and that's not where you're going, the very first cell on the bottom tier will be like, hey, homie Spencer, can you stop by real quick? And you're gonna go to the door. Hey, what's up, homes? Hey, I'm so and so, homie. What they call you, eh? You're gonna say your name. Hey, where'd you come from? Okay, homes, gracias. Hey, who else was on the bus with you? If it's not one of your people, he's gonna say, hey, your camaradas are next door. And then you're gonna go next door and you're gonna introduce yourself, same thing. Hey, who came with you? Where'd you guys come from? All the vatos that came with you, do you know where they went to? What blocks? Okay, gracias, eh? That person that you spoke to, when he comes out for yard, depending on the building, he may be in a building where the legends don't like vatos yelling out because the juras are listening and they're monitoring everything. You come out and you yell to one of those guys, they're gonna label you an associate at minimum of those guys, right? But if you're in a building where they're not tripping, then you know vato comes out, Spencer na tira. He calls out to who he needs to call out to. Hey, so and so just got here. He's in cell. Woo, woo, woo. The other way they do it is the vato goes out to yard, boom, talks through the drain or through the door, however it is in that pod, eh? Hey, a bus came, homes. So-and-so just landed. He's in this pod. He's in this cell over here in our pod. Some other vatos came with them. They went to these buildings, this and this and that. Okay, homes, gracias. If you yelled it out, if the vato yelled it out, everybody in the building heard who's here. There's something wrong, they're going to say it. If it goes through the yard, the vato that goes out there and says, hey, Holmes, you know, these guys got here, woo, woo. He's going to go back in his pod and he's going to ask people. And it's going to go from pod to pod to pod till it gets to all the legends. Whatever legends are there. But they never ask you, hey, Holmes, where's your paperwork at? Hey, let me see your paperwork. So when I've been around legends and never seen them ask that question, when I've been around hundreds of lifers that when we get on the streets, they never ask that question. It's so funny to me how people on the internet that were never in that life, that never ran in any serious circles, has the audacity to get on here and play prison. Playing prison is the dumbest thing in the world. You don't want to be there. I'm telling you. That's what my whole channel's about. Nobody that's there wants to be there. Nobody that's out here wants to be there. Especially if you're in comment sections on YouTube, man. Gang banging on YouTube, it makes no sense. So I thought about it. I was like, I was talking to somebody and I said, you know what's funny, Holmes? Like, these dudes ask these questions and I wonder if they feel like emboldened when they press send. Like, I would be more impressed if dudes would just brag about how they were smart enough to stay out here. Because you were. You were smarter than us. But once you start acting the hard role, then it's like, okay, now I can say, hey, Holmes, you didn't have the balls to do the things that you hate about other people for them doing them. You were smarter. You did right. We did wrong. Luckily, I learned a lesson. And you know, that's why, like, when I did that video about YA and how I don't agree that YA should have been shut down. I think we need to help the kids, man. And when kids do something wrong, they need to sit down and learn a lesson. Not the way it used to be, not the way YA used to be. I know prison made me a better man. If I would have beat my case in 1993, I would have just caught another one and been fighting another one. I was an animal. I was not thinking right. I did not value myself, so I couldn't value anyone else. Now I value everybody. Even if I don't care for you, you still have value to the people who love you, the people who really know you. I only know what people show me. And then I get to decide whether or not I like what's being shown to me. But one thing about it should be for everybody, Holmes. Remember one thing. People will always show you who they really are. Just give them an opportunity. And when they show you who they really are, believe them. That's my video for today, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.